Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Leverett Ball Show. And on this episode, I am joined by professional lacrosse player Carter Rice. And it's funny, Carter. I've had a lot of NFL guys on this podcast and celebrities from outside of sports. You're actually the first PLL player I've ever had on the Leverett Ball Show. And actually, Carter plays in the PLL for the California Redwoods. And I mean, Carter, how do you feel about making history on the Leverett Ball Show here?
It's pretty surreal. I'm honored. I'm honored. Being the first PLL player on this amazing podcast with an amazing guy, it's an honor. I appreciate it.
I asked every other player in the PLL, and they told me to go fuck myself. No, I'm just kidding. You're the first one I've invited on. But dude, maybe if this goes well, I might start hitting up PLL players left and right. But I know you played your rookie season last season. Like I said, with the California Redwoods, they drafted you in the fourth round out of Syracuse. And, what was that transition like? I mean, I know, you played on an elite college team at Syracuse and you played against, elite opponents in college. So, it's not like you were getting called up to the pros from like some random small school. You'd already played at a high level, but how much of an adjustment was it going from, Syracuse to the pros?
Yeah, I think it was a pretty big adjustment. Just the fact that everyone in the PLL that plays was an All-American, has great college accolades, and everyone's good. And once you kind of realize that no matter who you're guarding, no matter what team you're playing against, everyone is the best player you ever played against in college. You kind of figure out your way. And I think once I started realizing every rep I needed to go 100%, and I couldn't ever take a rep off. In college, like sometimes, like I would like we were playing against a lower tier D1 team. I would sometimes like think, oh, this will be a cakewalk, and it felt like a cakewalk against like a lower tier D1 team. But there's no time for like even taking a deep breath or taking like a play off, a second off. You got to be dialed in because everyone is was an All American, has national championship rings, and has accolades at the ass. So it's like you got to take everything pretty serious.
I mean, there's no question about it. And I mean,
Yeah.
going up against some of those guys, the funny thing about pro sports is like, there might be a rookie just out of college and he's playing against like a veteran guy who's been in the pros for a while. And maybe
Yeah.
it's someone, you watched playing on TV at some point.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that for me a little bit. Like when I have like retired pro athletes who are on the older side who haven't played in a while. Like I remember watching them on TV when I was like, 7 years old, and now I'm interviewing them. Did you ever have that moment with like any guys you played against in the pros where you're like, I can't believe I'm actually playing this guy?
Yeah, 100%. There were some guys, honestly, like even on my team, like coming to training camp, guys I grew up watching playing, like Ryder Garnsey and Romar Dennis, Dylan Malloy, all those veterans on my team. I came in the first day of training camp. I was like, wow, holy. I remember being in middle school and early high school watching these guys ball out at Brown, Loyola, Notre Dame, seeing all these guys on my team now is pretty surreal. And even like going up against guys like I'm trying to think, uh, like like Tom Schreiber or Grant Ament, those guys on the Archers. Those guys were like awesome college players at Princeton and Penn State, and they're coming out of the box dodging me, going 100%. So yeah, it was pretty surreal experience. And then once you kind of get over that hump of you're just they're not anything different than you. They're just a lacrosse player, and like once you get over that hump and start playing to the ability that you can play, like it's like any other day in the office.
Yeah, and I mean those are some huge names.
Yeah.
It's funny, like Ryder Garnsey you mentioned. I told you this. I met you prior to having you on the podcast, and I remember telling you that Ryder Garnsey went to my high school. You know what's funny about him is that like people who went to high school with, they knew him before he was well known, so they just kind of view him as a regular guy. But they almost find it funny, when people ask to take a picture with him or get an autograph. But he's become one of the biggest names in lacrosse, along with all the other guys you mentioned. All those guys are some ballers. And I also kind of want to talk to you about your time, at Syracuse as well. But and also kind of talk to you about the growth of professional lacrosse and the PLL. But One other thing about like your experience in your rookie year, I mean, what's kind of the banter like with other pro guys? Is there, because I know like in pro lacrosse, there are fights and this and that. I mean, is it kind of like that in college also, or is there maybe more trash talking fights in the pros?
I would say it's pretty. I say there's probably more in the pros because these guys are like they're all the best at their colleges. They play with a lot of passion. They get to where they are now. You got to play with that fu mentality, passion. That like I'm the best. No one's gonna beat me. And all those guys are in the same league now. So yeah, there's bound to be more fights in college. It's like, all right, like I know I'm better than you. Like I wouldn't have to say anything to you. Like so, it's like not even worth like talking trash. But like in college, in the PLL, everyone like the standard is so much higher to the point where like if you want to be the best, you got to say f you to the best and f you to everyone else. So yeah, it definitely was a wake up call for me. Like people talking trash to me. Like I wasn't always like something I was used to, but I never let it got to my head. So, but yeah, it's definitely a lot bigger in the PLL. That
Well,
whole culture.
and did you ever have to scrap with anyone? Did you have any fights your rookie year?
No, I didn't have any scraps, but definitely some verbal back and forth, but not no physical fights. But yeah, in college, like the standard at Syracuse was like always like we were gonna practice hard and play hard and head hard hustle and everything you do. The three H's: head, heart, hustle. And in practice, there would be some fights in Syracuse, a ton of fights, and I kind of like created a culture where like kind of created like a fu culture where it was like f everyone else, we're gonna be the best. So I kind of had an advantage from going to Syracuse in the PLS. I was kind of like ready for it, so I could control my emotions if someone talked trash to me to not physically have any physical altercation if that makes sense.
100%. But it's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny, Carter, because on TV you get fined for using swear words, but you can swear on podcasts. You're allowed to do that. So his mindset in college was fuck everyone else. I would get fined if I said that on ESPN, but I can say all kinds of crazy shit on my own podcast. But
Yeah. I didn't
but
know.
yeah,
Sorry. Cool.
but he was not literally fucking his opponents. It was his mindset.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
it's funny because with the PLL, it's still a relatively new league. And like, when you were growing up watching guys play pro lacrosse, that was in the MLL. And the PLL guys, make more money and the league gets a lot more attention than the MLL did. They got better TV deals, higher pay for players. And I mean, all of that was started by Paul Rabel and his brother. And I find it crazy, like Paul Rabel is kind of running the sport of lacrosse on the business side, but he's also one of the best players of all time. And
Yeah.
like in what other sport? It's not like, like in football, like Roger Goodell also plays quarterback for the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in what other sport does like the best player also run the sport and do a lot of things for the sport off the field? I mean, Brable's pretty incredible, but I mean, what's it been like kind of seeing the development of pro lacrosse and because college lacrosse has always been popular, but pro lacrosse has gotten more popular lately. What's it been like kind of seeing that whole
Yeah.
development?
It's super unique. Just that aspect of having someone who was so great in the sport also be someone who was the face of the sport also like create the sport to a whole nother level. It's very very special, and yeah, just seeing the progression of the league, seeing the new teams, the new dynamic of how the travel is and how the new locations, and even just going to San Diego and having our homecoming weekend for the Redwoods this past summer was super special. Seeing the fans in the West Coast, I never really knew that there were so many fans in California for the sport of lacrosse. So that was just super cool to see. It's just like everywhere we go, Salt Lake City, Denver, Charlotte, Chicago, every city like had a great crowd. And usually I think of lacrosse as just an East Coast sport. I've only really played it on the East Coast growing up outside of Boston and going to Syracuse. So like I've never really experienced to even play in some of these cities. I've never even been to these cities, and seeing all these fans there, and just seeing how well organized the league was. Like in my first year, I was like, wow, it was very very special to see. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, 100%. And it's interesting because, with the growth of the sport, like lacrosse has always been popular on the East Coast, like you said, but it's becoming popular in other areas where it wasn't traditionally popular. And like, because I played college baseball, but I remember at my school there was a lacrosse player from Kansas. And I remember someone saying, "I can't believe there's a lax pro at this school from Kansas." You know, you think of
Yeah.
it as like more like Maryland, New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, but it's really spreading. But also, as far as your time at Syracuse, you mentioned the three H's, but I mean, there's so much history with that program. I mean, Syracuse is up there with all the, Syracuse, Johns Hopkins, Navy, some of the, those programs that over the years have just been incredible. I mean, what was it like when you first got there? I mean, were you at all in any way like in awe?
Yeah, it was super surreal seeing all the names in the locker room, the past names that played there, Casey Powell, all those guys, and just having Coach Gary Gate, who was his first year coaching the men's team my freshman year, and also Dave Petramala, who was the Hopkins coach for many years, won many national championships. It was his first year as the defensive coordinator at Syracuse too, after his time at Hopkins. So it was super surreal to have all these legends' names around me, and that came with a lot of pressure. And having that pressure, like you were scared to make mistakes, and scared if I didn't do this, maybe like I wouldn't see the field my first year. Like there's a lot of pressure, 100%. But I think once I kind of realized that like the entire like foundation and culture of Syracuse lacrosse is just one big brotherhood through alumni, through current players, through recruits, even in high school. It's one big brotherhood, and everyone, all the older guys, took us in with open arms, and it kind of became just part of a family, and just like being become a being become a becoming a part of a family like Syracuse lacrosse was just like so something so surreal to me. And like obviously I was nervous at first, but then once I started like practicing well and like getting to know the guys, it just became like I just made another family.
100%. And those are some
Yeah,
massive names there. I mean, Gary
yeah,
Gate, who's a legend. This is so random. I actually went to the same elementary school as his daughter back in the day. And I
wow,
remember like people talking about, oh, that girl's dad is a beast lacrosse player or whatever. But he was a legend. And Dave Petramala was considered one of the best head coaches in the history of the game. Like you said, he was at Johns Hopkins for all those years. And then, you have not only a legend as your head coach, but also a legend assistant coach. That must have been crazy, especially, as a freshman. I guess for anyone listening, if they're not super familiar with lacrosse, like Syracuse lacrosse is kind of like University of Alabama football or like Duke basketball, as far as like they're kind of one of the premier names in college lacrosse. And I mean, do you still keep in touch with a lot of Syracuse guys? I know you graduated not that long ago. Do you guys kind of have like an alumni network?
yeah. There's a big alumni network with guys that were fifth year when I was freshman, I still keep in touch with. It's a great culture, and I think everyone there's so much history behind it, and just there was so many great memories there in the dome, and that's like playing in that dome. It's just like you can't really beat it, and then there's no other lacrosse venue like it. So yeah, I mean, like it's just, like what I said prior. It's just one big family, and everyone stays in touch. We're all boys to this day, and I don't think that'll ever change. So I'm super grateful to be part of that family. It taught me a lot about myself as a player, and myself as a teammate, and myself and just how to work hard in life and to succeed at something greater than myself. And I think just for my career there, like my freshman year, we went in and we were 4-10 my freshman year. We only won 4 games. My sophomore year, we won 8 games, but didn't make the NCAA tournament. My junior year, we made it to the quarterfinals and lost to Denver. And then my senior year, we we lost in the Final Four, but won the ACC tournament. So it was like a great like like linear positive trajectory of like my career there with Gary Gate and his era. So it was great to see that progression each year. And like what I said prior, it's like I just became closer with my boys like throughout those 4 years, and becoming closer with my boys, like the more success we saw in the field. So it was cool.
The
Yeah.
bond that you have, with college teammates is like, I mean, no other bond. It is really a brotherhood. You know what I miss actually the most about college sports was the team group chats.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
they were
our teams. We would still have a teams group Snapchat, like
really.
my grade, and it buzzes every day. It
Well, did you
buzzes.
guys use the group me app? I'm assuming.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, the
Yeah,
group
every
me.
college team does. Yeah.
We use the team group Snap, and then the team iMessage. And those buzz every day.
Oh yeah.
So to this day.
It's so funny though, because I remember like at the end of my college career, we had a team group meet, and it was so vulgar and just disgusting. And like a lot of the guys on my college team would be unemployable for the rest of their lives if that group chat got leaked. But it was
Yeah,
hilarious, and it's funny though because I'm a little bit older than you, and GroupMe like got invented like partway through my college career. So I remember my freshman year when I was at my first college, I was playing baseball at Wittenberg University, and we had like a group email. But like I remember getting an email that was sent to the whole team about like baseball formal is tonight, like, can't wait to get plastered. I just remember thinking like, what if that guy who sent that accidentally sent it to like his professor or something? So things have come a long way, with GroupMe and Snapchat and all the different ways for guys to keep in touch. But I miss just the stupidity and the goofiness of being on a college team. It's
yeah,
another level of ridiculousness that not many people can relate to.
yeah. No, 100%. And then boom, it's all over. Real world starts. So
I know. Then you have to act like an adult. That kind of blows, but it
yeah,
is
no,
what
I'm
it
ready.
is.
I'm ready for it though. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Yeah.
Also, as far as what you're up to in the near future, maybe some people might not know, a lot of professional lacrosse players have other jobs outside of lacrosse. And, I know you recently accepted a tech sales job, you have your experience playing pro lacrosse, you have a tech sales job. I remember also when I met you, I mentioned to you that maybe you'd be a good fit to be a lacrosse broadcaster someday. That might be something you'd be good at. But with
Yeah,
all the
100%.
different things you have going on, I mean, lacrosse, tech sales, I mean, what are you excited for in the near future?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm moving to a new city where I don't know a lot of people. Starting up a new job where I just want to learn the product and do well. I mean, I'm honestly excited to start work because I haven't worked in a while, and it's been a long time for me not having a job since I graduated. I've just only been sitting PLL and coaching, doing some coaching here and there. So I'm excited to start like my corporate career, um, and um, and yeah, for the near future, I mean, I'm excited to be on my own, start my corporate career, and balance my corporate career with my lacrosse career as long as I can go, and to maintain that balance and to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So I'm excited to see where it takes me.
Do you have a goal for how many years you want to play in the PLL, or are you kind of
I
taking
mean,
it
I
1 year at a
do.
time?
I want to take it 1 year at a time, but like I think I can do it for a long time just because the fact that I control what I need to control off the field, whether it be body care or just like stretching, hydrating, or like training a certain way. Like I know what I need to do to like keep my hips and my hamstrings and all my legs. It's all about my legs. Like I'm a defensive midfielder, so I need to like be able to move laterally, like almost like a cornerback. Like my movement is like the exact same as a cornerback in football. Like I'm a bump and around corner. So as long as I have my legs and what I need to do and my hips are okay, I think I can do it for a very long time. So I think I just needed to maintain that off season care. Obviously, it's tough, like not being in a facility like Syracuse and having that trainer always around me and like develop strengthen my hips and strengthen my change of direction. I don't have that anymore during the off season, so I got to do that on my own. So that's up to me. It's up to me how long I can play. Honestly, I mean, I think I can do it for a while, but if I can maintain myself and know what I need to do, I think I can do it for 10 years plus.
From the Boston area, you played at BC High. Did you ever do the TB12 program?
No, I trained at a different gym. I trained at a gym called Compete in Norwood. Guy named Joe Drain. He's absolutely blowing up now. Like you look up their Instagram, he's blowing up. Compete Sports. He's doing really well, and he kind of helped develop what some habits I need to do as an athlete. Like before I started, I committed to Syracuse like my junior year of high school, and before then I didn't touch a weight. I didn't know how to eat. I was eating fucking McDonald's every day. Ate like shit. Like I had no. I wasn't an athlete. I was an athlete, but I wasn't an athlete off the field. And once I started to kind of learn that, it kind of changed my trajectory. Like I wouldn't have started my freshman year at Syracuse. I wouldn't have been an All-American. I wouldn't have got drafted to the PLL if I didn't start to control those things off of the field. So I'm grateful for my time at Compete at Norwich. Shout out them. Shout out Joe Drain, legend. He's a beast. He's got like Duke commits, Notre Dame commits, BU commits, BU soccer commits, girls lacrosse, Notre Dame commits, everyone, you name it. D3 football guys, D1 football guys, they all train in his gym. So he's got something good going on over there. So shout out to him.
I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. And
both my younger brothers train there too. They're both college athletes as well. So
and where do they play?
They both play football in college. One plays football at Trinity, and one plays football at Kobe College. So both in NESCAC.
NESCAC, okay. So they must be great students as well, because that's like the highest level when it comes. Yeah,
way better students than I ever was. I'll tell you.
Okay. Hey, I like the honesty. I like the honesty.
Yeah, man.
But
I mean, I worked hard. I mean, actually, no, I'm not. I could have worked harder in high school. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. I don't know, but but that's awesome though that you were able to go to Syracuse and have such a great run. But before we wrap things up, for any hardcore PLL fans or Carter Rice fans, anyone who wants to keep up with you, what are your social media handles? And also, do you have any like PLL events that are open to the public that you're going to, or any ways people can maybe meet you at events? And also, what are your social media handles?
Yeah, my Instagram is crice123, like my last name, C Rice, just with a C, and then 123_ at the end, and then my email if anyone wants to email me for any camps or stuff going on in Tampa about any youth programs that need help coaching on the side. My email is carterrice2001 at yahoo.com. So if anyone wants to reach out for anything like that. But yeah, as of events, I'm not sure of any in the near future, but I'll have to think about that.
100%. Although, what's cool? After the PLL games, they have a lot of like autograph signings for kids, and that's one thing that's cool about pro lacrosse is like the interaction between the players and the fans, especially the young fans.
Awesome.
And Carter has a fuck you mentality with his opponents. He doesn't have a fuck you mentality if a 5-year-old asks for an autograph after the game. He will sign for you. Everyone definitely give Carter a follow and definitely check him out this upcoming PLL season. But once again, everyone, that was our guest Carter Rice. You've been listening to the Leverett Ball Show.